Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Amalia with a student parent number is 200107511006 from the ICP Biology Department. Here I will explain the matter of sex language in the subchapter genes on the Y chromosome and a perfectly imperfect genetical sequence. Most of the species of living things are distinguished tied to based on their sex, namely males and females. However, there are also living things that are double-sex or hermaphrodite, and living things that have only one gender because they can reproduce parthenogenesis, but never did. You feel curious. What is the cause of living things can be male or female? As it turns out, the sex of an organism is determined by several factors, among them genetic factor and environmental factor. Genetic factors are factors that play a major role in determining the sex of an organism. This is because genetic factors are determined by the genetic material present in the chromosome, especially the genital chromosome or gonosomes. Meanwhile, environmental factors that affect the gender difference of an organism can come from the internal environment of the cell as well as the external environment of the cell. One example of which is the ambient temperature. We enter it the first gene found in Y chromosomes. We have here XX as a normal female and XH as hypertrichosis male. In addition to hypertrichosis, there are two other gene standards of chromosome Y, namely wembitosis or growth of skin between finger and toes look like a frog or water breath, caused by the recessive gene WYT, and histridge gravure or growth of long and stiff hair on the surface, hedgehog-like body, caused by the recessive gene HG. The allele HG is normal. We have here XX as a normal female and XH as hypertrichosis male. In addition to hypertrichosis, there are two other gene standards of chromosome Y, namely wembitosis or growth of skin between finger and toes look like a frog or water breath, caused by the recessive gene WYT, and histridge gravure or growth of long and stiff hair on the surface, hedgehog-like body, caused by the recessive gene HG. The allele HG is normal. We enter it the second perfect and imperfect sex frame. Both the genetical chromosome, namely the X chromosome and the Y chromosome, are aligned. It can be seen that there are homolog parents, or the same speech and lineage, and the Y section is not homolog. Now in the chapter of the perfect and imperfect gender sequence two kinds. The first, gens, was if influence is limited to a particular gender. In males are no secondary genetical signs, such as mustache, ears, and large sounds, although many also males are not mustached, barrelless, and have small voice. In women, the sign is the growth of breasts. Secondary genetical signs are affected by genetical hormones. The activity of this hormone is influenced by gen, while expressions is limited to one gender only, or sex limited gens. Although those genes are present in both sexes, there are several hereditary traits influenced by these matched genes, such as the color of conifer butterflies. Male butterflies are always yellow, but females can be yellow and white. White color is dominant, but it only shows itself in female butterflies. If P capital is a gen for the white color, or in female butterflies only, while P majuscule for yellow color, then the activity of the gen is as follows. Genotype PP capital butterfly yellow, female white. P capital and P majuscule butterfly yellow, female white. P capital, P majuscule butterfly yellow, female yellow. Then the second kind of a perfect and imperfect gender lab is gen influenced by gender. Usually, the dominant gen show its influence on both male or male and female or female individuals. Now, in a recessive homozygotic state, that dominant influence will not manifest itself in phenotype. Here will be explained the gen was dominant depend of the gender of the individual. The first, bald head. The bald head is not due to disease, but the father's because or hereditary factor. Usually, a new bald head will be visible after the age of 30 years. At first, the bald head is caused by a gen found in the genetical chromosome. As is the case with color blindness, however, the face shows that a father who has a bald head can have a balding son as well. This the reality of the process that the above allegations cannot be justified, because if the gen for the bald-headed gen is present of the X chromosome, then it is likely then the father and son have the same traits. If the gene is present of the Y chromosome, then the allegation is not justified, given that there are women who have both hands. So, the conclusion is that the head of the brain is caused by genes that are influenced by gender or sex influencing genes. We can see here the description of the BB as the bold letters and the BB capital represented bold B capital and B lowercase letters being boys and girls, not balls. The second, latch of index finger against ring finger upwards. Then we put our hand on a pedestal where there is a horizontal line so that the tip of the ring finger touches the line. Then we can know whether a finger will be longer of shoulder, and the ring finger, short index finger are caused by genes that are dominant in males but recessive in females. Now we can see between the comparison of a normal finger and the latch of an index finger longer than the switcher finger at which the genotype is T capital male short index, female short index, T capital T compound, male short index, female long index, T capital T compound, male long index, female long index. That is my explanation of the sex linkage in the gen chapter on chromosome and a perfect imperfect gender set. I apologize if there is any mistranslation or any mention in English, because to be honest, I was still leaking in English. Please forgive me and thank you for the time that has been given. Wabillahi taufiq wa sa'adah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.